Okay, so we realize it's been a week very heavy with polls and surveys, but I am going to ask you one last time to please take out your phones before the meeting. And I realize maybe you're a little bit exhausted by being polled, but please appreciate that it's because your voice matters, and we want to hear what you have to say, and I hope you feel empowered by that. So we're going to do another Menti survey. And you see up at the top of the screen, you are going to go to the website. You can go to it on your computer as well and use the code 961082. And the first question is just, to the best of your ability, assign yourself to an affiliation. It's slow. The internet is a bit slow. Okay, well, that gives us an idea. Let's say there's about 100 of us in this room. We started at 240, so it looks like a lot of people have left. But let's shoot for about 100, and you see the proportions of different agencies. So we'll go to the next slide. Okay, the following are significant challenges to extend vaccination beyond the first year of life. Do you agree or do you disagree? And you'll have a scale from strongly agree to strongly disagree, or strongly disagree to strongly agree. Strongly agree is a 5, strongly disagree is a 1. Okay, that's very interesting. So that looks like reaching the target population, whether it's a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, 16 adult, maternal, and monitoring and data collection more or less fell around 4, strongly agree. With the others, around 3, and the cold chain capacity people feel like that's probably the least of our challenges. And that was interesting because that showed up in another survey as well, the one that Tom gave this morning, that we had better information on the cold chain than anything else. Okay, next question. Which statement most closely reflects your point of view on measles and rubella elimination in the post-2020 era? And you are obligated to choose one, even though you may feel feelings for all answers, but try to pick one. Wow, that went fast. How many people here are for the measles rubella partnership? Yeah. You looking carefully what your goal is over the next decade? So by a large amount, everybody's saying, let's get MCV1 up to 95, and let's get MCV2 out there and up to 95. Very good. Okay, next question. Please type one word that comes to your mind when you think about polio transition. Well, that's great. Unless somebody is typing opportunity, opportunity, opportunity again and again, you are people who see the glass half full. That's really great. I don't see anything like the word disaster up there or train wreck or anything like that, so that's really great. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, which are the partners with which EPI must engage more actively in order to increase equitable access to immunization services? And you're to choose the top 2 that you think would be the most influential. Okay, so very interesting. It looks like the emphasis is on the local level, so working most closely with local authorities, local community groups, followed by community health workers and CSOs. Good, really interesting. Okay, next slide. In GIM 2018, we've heard about many shifts and changes. What do you think are the biggest threats to EPI in the decade beyond 2020, based on what you've heard these past 3 days? You have 100 points that you can allocate any way you wish to these 7 areas. So you can put 100 points to one, or you could split up your 100 points as you wish. Okay, this question is a little more complex, so it takes a little more time. There's about 120 of us in the room, so just give it a couple more minutes. Okay, so you were all obviously very alert and paying attention this morning with Tom and Tom's session. 27%, the biggest threat is the low domestic investments in health and immunization. 18% is decreasing external development or aid funds. 17%, complacency about our own success. 15 and 13% conflict and fragility, migration, displacement. Anti-vaccination is still relatively high, 8%, so it's still something we'll have to tackle, and then climate change at the end. Great, thank you. Okay, and I think we're on our last slide next. Please type one word you would use to describe your experience of the past 3 days. Okay, so all relatively positive, which is really fantastic. There are some funny ones in there you may not be able to see from the back. Novelty, a lot of work ahead of us. Transition, learning, exciting. Change is coming. Edutainment. Part of a community, charged, satisfied, connecting. So that's really nice to hear, I think. That's great. Okay, good. So this, unfortunately, will not be on the memory stick. But if anybody wants, for any reason, to save the poll, you can let us know. We can get it emailed to you somehow or get it on the website or something like that. Oh, and look at that. 224. I said 240. That's not. Oh, except if somebody's entering again and again and again and again. Okay. Yes, we can certainly do that. Okay, so thank you all very much for humoring us for one last poll. And I'm going to now invite Rob and Nandy to come up to the stage to make a few closing remarks. Yeah, unless you want to detach this, but then it's okay.
Hi, everyone. Busy 3 days, and we're really close to the end. So yeah, don't worry. This is not going to be a long one. But on behalf of Diana and all colleagues from WHO, UNICEF, and all partners who made this meeting possible and contributed, I hope it met our collective objectives. The question is, are we better placed now to manage to navigate transitions? The theme of the meeting. And I think we can ask ourselves that. Pretty good feedback on your poll today. But bringing such a wide array of folks working in immunization under one roof is such a huge opportunity to share experiences, learn from another, remind us of our common purpose, to address the health needs of the child in the community. And for that, I would particularly like to thank our colleagues from the countries. Thank you for all you've done for the last 3 days in providing us with a reality check and keeping us honest. Can I have a quick hand for our country club participants, please? And not the least, to network and reconnect with each other. Connect or reconnect. I hope we are going back energized and with a sense of purpose to address the challenges that we face. You know, I know when one leaves these kinds of meetings, we do so with regret. We always feel, I didn't talk to this person enough, I didn't get a chance to reconnect. I passed somebody in the corridor 6 times, but still don't have a conversation. But there's a way around this. We see this meeting as a process and not a means to an end. Let's keep our dialogue open, our communication open, whether it's by email, by phone, and keep the momentum going. I think it's critical that we don't see this as an end in itself. We did hear some common themes during this week. I won't summarize all, but a few highlights here. It's clear over the last 3 days, listening to everybody speak, that to operate in the current period, we almost need 2 heads, 2 hearts, 2 minds. One, to focus on the job at hand now, and also then focus on the transitions that we face and we need to address post-2020. This is a challenge, and we have to step up to this. For this, we would have to work differently. And this came out repeatedly over the last couple of days. We use business as usual, it will not work, and so on and so forth. The Roslings yesterday provided us with a stark reminder that we have to improve our awareness of our context. We are woefully unaware of the world that we live in, and it was a good reality check, because our preconceived ideas and notions can lead us to the wrong track and lead us to the wrong decisions that we make as policy makers. I would like to make a few comments on our partnership. We have a dynamic and long-standing partnership in immunization. This was pointed out by the UNICEF rep in the opening statement. But I think, like everything, we can get better, and we should strive to get better. It was mentioned by Senator Sezibera in this morning's plenary session. A number of others mentioned it during the course of the meeting, that we need to broaden our partnerships. This is absolutely critical as we move forward. Let us also try and challenge ourselves and debate on issues more. Let's consider different perspectives, while keeping the spirit of trust, so that we are not afraid of shifting our positions. We sometimes get locked into usual ways of working, and we don't like to change. We need to. Particularly if you're mid-career or late in career, it's very hard to change what you've been doing for the last 10, 20 years. Let's be open to change. Let's use evidence. Let's use data. Let's use new information to frame our decisions and move forward. I think at the last Gavi board dinner, WHO DG Tedros gave a very nice story about a mother who was cutting the tail of a turkey before putting the turkey in the oven. And nobody questioned this until the little boy, her son, came into the kitchen and said, "Mom, why are you cutting the tail of the turkey?" And Mom said, "I don't know, because grandmother did it, and I saw this, and that's why I cut the tail." So the kid goes to the grandmother and asks grandmother, same story, "Your great-grandmother did it." Went to the next generation, the great-grandmother. And the great-grandmother said, "Oh, because my oven was too small, so I had to cut the tail of the turkey." I think this is a fantastic story, and I think ovens have grown bigger, and sometimes maybe our thinking can expand to go this, to accommodate the larger and the opportunities provided by the larger oven. So DG Tedros has set up a very ambitious program of work, to ensure 3 billion healthier lives with universal health care. From my agency in UNICEF, our strategic plan has an unprecedented number of immunization indicators that are out there that we will measure ourselves again. The point here to make is that the momentum is there. I think we can build on this momentum. It's our responsibility. I think it's in our hands. The Roslings also reminded us that the world is changing and we have to keep pace with this changing world to ensure our relevance. So finally, and not to keep you too long, from my personal viewpoint, I really enjoyed this meeting, enjoyed meeting you all and interacting you all. My only regret is I never left this complex, Radisson complex, and went out into the city. I hope some of you did that. I hope you have a good trip back home. Also, all the best to all of you who still have a team left in the World Cup. And thank you so much to the organizers for finishing this meeting today so that we can attend the kickoff of the first set of games today. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we are still almost 240 strong in this meeting. So in different ways, in each of our respective domains, we've each make important contributions to the success of EPI, for which I think we should all feel both acknowledged and humbled. And I myself feel very privileged, very sincerely, to work in such a community of people who are so dedicated, so knowledgeable, and so caring. We all are, in some ways, unsung heroes for the life path that we've chosen. So it's always difficult to choose out one unsung hero for attention, but I would like to ask you to permit me to do so. If you have been in the immunization field for any period of time, whether it's global, regional, or at country level, I don't think you could have been untouched by this person's work, whether you realize it or not. He's considered by many as a champion of routine immunization, the strident protector of routine immunization. And his life passion for improving immunization systems in countries started well over 30 years ago. From helping to eradicate smallpox in Yemen and Ethiopia and respond to diphtheria outbreaks in the late 1980s, early 1990s with the newly independent states at the dissolution of the Soviet Union, to helping design the RED approach, to being one of the original promoters behind the UNICEF vaccine arrival report form, to his countless quips and snippets and anecdotes interjected into advisory groups and at meetings, although he's been kind of quiet these past 3 days, and all his technical expertise into guidelines. This person has influenced and shaped routine immunization in immeasurable ways. And I believe he has attended every GIM meeting known to humankind. So may I please invite Robert just to stand up? He's in the back. So Robert Steinglass, as you ease into your retirement in September, this global EPI family, thank you for your humor, your tenacity, your guidance, your passion these past 3 decades. You will be missed. Okay, so any such production, like a wedding, requires a long list of people to thank. First off, This GIM would not have been possible without the financial support of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Yes. The generosity for which WHO and UNICEF is quite grateful. And I think you all fully recognize the amount of care and attention and time that went into planning such a big event. So please bear with me while I list the number of people and contributors that we would like to acknowledge. Honestly, without them, this event wouldn't have happened. So please hold your applause until the end. The Ministry of Health of Rwanda, the WHO and UNICEF Country Office, the WHO Afro Office, and specifically Richard Mihigo, who may be in this crowd somewhere, all the session organizers, the facilitators, the panel members, the debaters, the breakfast experts, the marketplace guardians, too many to name, Helen Reese, our keynote speaker, our plenary chairs, Felicitas and Robin, all the planning committee members, which include reps from Gavi, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, CDC, International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescents, PATH, all 6 regional offices, UNICEF HQ and WHO HQ. And lastly, but not leastly, all the logistic and operational staff at the Radisson Blu Hotel and the Kigali Conference Center, including the array of excellent technicians sitting on the side wall and the back wall. Please join me in a round of applause to honor all those people. Okay, and finally, I wasn't kidding when I said there were a lot of people organizing this meeting. But finally, and most importantly, the individuals who need special mention are those who are the most invisible, but actually make everything run smoothly. It's the GIM Secretariat. You only know who they are when things don't go well. And as much has gone really smoothly these past 3 days, you probably don't know them at all. Okay? These are the people that have gotten your flights done. They helped you nourish your brain with all the audio visuals. They orchestrated all the little bits and pieces of this program. They supported logistics. They're going to get you home safe. They got you fed. They got you hydrated. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I'm going to ask them to step up to the front of the room. I'd like you to hold your applause, and we'll give them a big whoopo and when they get up here. So please, if I could invite from Global Health Visions, Kristen Cox-Melling and Juliana Zuccaro. You can... You can stand up there. From UNICEF, Amadou Yakubu. And Amadou is also, he's wearing 2 hats, he's also Benjamin Schreiber at the same time. And then Katia Gaudin-Bilodeau and Helen Matzker. So just so everybody's really clear, this has been in planning for at least 10 months, at least, if not more. So really, in your most sincere way, can we please give a big round of applause to these people? Thank you. Thank you so much. And they will never do it again, probably. Okay, so as we're wrapping up, before I hand off the microphone to Dr. Olushayo Olu, the WR of Rwanda, to officially close the meeting, I had a couple of logistical announcements. Is there anything going to be posted up on the screen? No. Okay, so simply to say there is one, I wasn't completely truthful with you, but there is one last survey they're going to ask you to do, but not collectively. It will, I think it's already been sent to you by email. I think it's also on the GIM website. And it's in the application as well. Okay, it's very quick. And once you finish that, you will get your materials for the meeting, which are outside. Secondly, after the official closing by Dr. Olu, there will be a coffee break. So you can mingle, talk to those people you passed 6 times in the hall but didn't get to talk to, and say your goodbyes. Okay? So great. On that note, Dr. Olu, can I invite you to the stage to officially close?
Muraho. Muraho. That is how we greet in Rwanda. And I believe by now you should have at least learned 1 or 2 words. So anyway, good afternoon, colleagues and participants. It's usually not very easy to speak as the last speaker, especially when you have to speak after eloquent people like Diana and my good friend of long time, Robin. So, but nevertheless, as the WR, I've been told to say a few words. And as the final speaker, I will again like to add my voice to thank the organizers for holding this meeting in Rwanda. I also wish to extend my appreciation to the government of Rwanda and its Ministry of Health for hosting the meeting. I believe we have a few colleagues from the ministry here, and they will take the message back to the minister. It has been a great honor for us when I say us, I mean WHO, UNICEF, and the Ministry of Health to host this very first GIM meeting which is taking place in Africa. So for us, this is something that is a pleasure, and we're very happy about it. I also hope that you enjoyed your stay and you found time within your busy schedules to explore the clean and beautiful city of Kigali. If you have not done so, please try to do so tonight. It is very safe. You can walk around, and people are very pleasant. And the town is well lit 24 hours a day. For us, as the local host, this meeting has been very beneficial. I think we benefited a lot. First and foremost, our teams have been able to learn a lot from the rich discussions that took place during the meeting. And personally, for me, as the WHO rep, I've been able to grab a few of my colleagues from our regional office and the HQ and ask for things that I would not have been able to ask for on the phone, and I'm sure I will get them. And of course, I'm looking at Diana and looking at our director, Dr. Zawaira. So I'm using this opportunity. I've been able to use the opportunity to get things out of them. For us as well, because we, as you know, we also have a good, rich experience in immunization in Africa, and I'm happy that we have been able to share our experiences, and I hope that our experiences have been able to, give you a few lessons that you can, take back to your countries. Hopefully, with this context of high performance that we have here, which was well articulated by the minister during our opening remarks, it will inspire you all for the work that lays ahead. I was reliably informed that the discussion during the different concurrent sessions explored various ways of improving immunization outcomes while contributing to the broader health system strengthening. Based on the proceeding and the recommendations of the meeting, which were very dynamic, interactive, and explored many frontiers and innovations in immunization, I believe that the meeting has been a great success. On this note, I would like to congratulate the organizing committee. I think it's been excellent. I listened to a number of the presentations. They were high quality, top quality, and I also listened to the discussion. And I must say, I'm also impressed with your technology. And I've been asking around about the software and seeing how I can adapt it to use, at least in my office. So I hope that the deliberations of the meeting will help the countries here present, and of course our country here, to better navigate through the global shifts and transitions affecting the future of immunization in order to sustainably improve coverage and equity of immunization intervention. So as I close, let me also thank you all for listening to me. I know you're tired, and I can see that you are listening with rapt attention. On this note, I would like to officially close the meeting and wish all of you very safe travels back to your homes. Please we are very hospitable people. Come back, whether for official duty or unofficial. And whenever you come back, let us know. We shall host you and make you very comfortable. Murakoze Chiane. In our local language, that means thank you very much. Thank you.